Hi there, families. Happy September 26th already. I can't believe we're coming to the conclusion of September already. Before we know it, Thanksgiving will be upon us. A little bit of a scary thought, to be honest with you, but just goes to show how time flies. So this week, we are continuing to work on the writing process. We're really working on deconstructing paragraphs. Um, Today was Monday, so we worked on brainstorming. Tomorrow we'll work on the details and the explanations. So their topic was something that they were good at. So they had to come up with, the grade fours had to come up with 8 ideas or 8 things they're good at, and the grade fives had to come up with 10 things. We're putting a lot of effort into the writing because in October we're mostly focusing on the reading. We are starting a book called Thirst, which I'm really excited about. The subtitle is actually quite fascinating as well. It's Imagine a world where water is for everyone, and it's something that I think we take for granted here in Canada. I went to Chapters yesterday. I got 3 new books. We're taking February to read Stunt Boy, which is by an author. His name's Jason Reynolds, and I read a book with a grade 8 class a few years ago by the same author, and it's a graphic novel. I'm really excited about that. So there's going to be some bigger reading projects going on in this room. In math, still working on place value. Today we were using a deck of cards. So basically I gave the grade fives 5 cards and they had to create a number. So what that is, and then each one of them gave me their numbers and I created a spreadsheet with all of those numbers. Tomorrow I'm going to print that sheet off, and then they are going to have to take those numbers and they're going to have to use the same numbers and create the biggest number and the lowest number possible. So for example, if I were to take these cards and I can just use 3 for example, and I go 169 for example, that is the smallest version. If I flip them around and go 961, so that's what they're going to be working on tomorrow, is just using decks of cards. Just another thing that you can use at home to talk about place value. So that's a lot of fun. In science, the grade fives have started talking about the human body. And so they did a little worksheet today on the muscular skeletal system. So a great question that you can ask your student if they are in grade 5, for example, is how many bones are in the human body? That's kind of a cool piece of learning. There's 206, by the way, if you are looking for that piece of information. So to see whether or not they did the reading, to see whether or not they were having the conversations with their groups, that's a great question to ask them. Some of them did struggle with the reading. Some of it's bigger words. But this is my first time with a split class. So the grade 5s are doing that. The grade 4s are working on habitats. And so it was sort of give the 5s some work to do independently. And then the grade 5s are going to take that up. I also showed them a bunch of x-rays using the windows today too. So the whole class got to enjoy that. The excitement got a little too high. So we had to kind of shut that down because there was a lot of things going on and they weren't quite able to rein that back in, so we had to stop doing that. The grade 4 started talking about a neat little triangle. So you have your decomposers and all the way up to your producers, your consumers, your secondary consumers, and your tertiary consumers, and how they all kind of, for lack of a better word, it's the circle of life, if you will, to quote The Lion King. But it's just sort of in a pyramid fashion, and they were working on creating their own pyramids of within that, and how each of those, we need each of those cycles. So, for example, me being a meat eater and a plant eater, I require the other 2 phases before it actually gets to me. So, just looking at things from a different perspective is a lot of fun. So that's kind of what we are working towards this week. Again, the human body. For grade 5s, grade 4s, we're starting habitats. And I kind of had an interesting idea, and I'm going to be working towards doing that. But I was at a Zoo to You at my niece's birthday party on Saturday, and it was kind of neat seeing all the different animals. And so it kind of got the wheels turning for my grade 4 project this year. So stay tuned for that. But everybody have a wonderful week. Happy Monday, and I look forward to hearing from any of you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. And again, happy Monday. Take care. Bye, everyone.